You put the dress on. It's another thing. It brings on a new life.
Sure.
She walks out of the room in the dress.
Yes.
Before the event, was the first time you saw her in the dress?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Why do we need to leave?
Our objection to a man of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2. At least two.
Pastor Jamal Bryant and his wife, Dr. Carrie Bryant, are facing a wave of criticism they probably never expected. What began as a high-profile charity event quickly turned into a heated debate within their church community. The controversy started after Dr. Bryant wore a dress that caught everyone's attention online, sparking a mix of surprise, admiration, and strong disapproval from many followers. Social media lit up with opinions, and discussions about faith, appearance, and leadership erupted almost instantly. Now, people are asking a question that feels bold but unavoidable. Could this incident mark the beginning of cracks in Pastor Jamal's carefully maintained reputation as a prominent and influential figure in the religious world? What was meant to be a glamorous night of giving back has unexpectedly become a moment of reflection for both the couple and their congregation, leaving many wondering how they will respond to the growing scrutiny.
Now, I didn't say she was. I'm not talking about her. My statement is not about her. My statement is about him. I said he presented his wife, and he said he bought the dress.
What was meant to be an elegant, meaningful evening quickly turned chaotic. The criticism didn't come from outsiders but from within the church itself. Members, pastors, and longtime followers questioning Pastor Jamal Bryant's choices. Whispers became open conversations, spreading online and offline, turning one night into a public moment everyone noticed.
And anybody who looks at my wife will think I'm a billionaire.
I just don't know where the illusion of nudity fits in with being a first lady.
The drama all began on December 20th, 2025, at the UNCCF Atlanta Mayor's Mask Ball, a black tie affair where influence and status were on full display. This wasn't a casual gathering. It was an evening of prestige designed to impress. The room was packed with politicians, business leaders, and celebrities, all dressed to the nines, each vying for visibility and connection. The event's purpose was noble: to raise funds for historically black colleges and universities. On paper, the night was a success. By the time the final speeches were over, the gala had raised an impressive $4 million, a sum worthy of celebration. Inside the ballroom, everything seemed perfect. Cameras clicked constantly, applause echoed after every announcement, and smiles stretched across the room. Guests mingled with elegance, and every detail, from the table settings to the lighting, suggested meticulous planning. It was the kind of night made for magazine spreads and social media highlights, a moment meant to be remembered positively. Yet, all it took was a single image to shift the entire narrative. When Pastor Jamal Bryant and Dr. Carrie Bryant entered, the focus subtly but quickly moved away from the speeches, the donations, and the mission itself, locking onto Pastor Carrie's dress. What had been a celebratory evening turned almost overnight into a heated conversation about her appearance. The dress, a black mermaid-style gown with a flesh-toned illusion bodice, hugged every curve and created a striking, almost daring silhouette. Its design was meant to captivate and command attention, and it did. Had this been a red carpet moment for a celebrity singer, influencer, or reality star, it would have been celebrated, shared, and moved past within hours. Bold fashion moments are expected in entertainment, and viewers often respond with admiration, not judgment. But the context changed everything. This wasn't a celebrity at a gala. It was the wife of a well-known pastor, a public spiritual figure, and a leader in her own right. The perception of her role transformed a glamorous fashion choice into a moral question almost immediately. Churchgoers and longtime followers began debating whether a pastor's spouse should wear something so attention-grabbing. The conversation shifted from "she looks stunning" to "is this appropriate for a leader in the church?" To many believers, spiritual leaders represent their faith in every space they occupy. The assumption is that wherever a pastor or their family goes, they carry the responsibility of their position. Clothing, behavior, and public image aren't just personal choices. They are symbols of the values the church promotes. Supporters quickly defended Dr. Carrie, insisting the event was social, not a church service, and she wasn't preaching or teaching that night. But for some observers, this argument fell short. It wasn't about modesty or judgment. It was about perception, about the responsibility that comes with being a visible figure in the faith community. Leadership, many argued, carries unspoken standards. Actions, appearances, and public choices reflect not just the individual, but the entire organization they represent. In this case, to many critics, the dress crossed an invisible boundary between personal expression and public expectation. Then Pastor Jamal Bryant spoke from the stage, and the controversy intensified. Instead of easing tensions, he amplified them. From the pulpit, he openly mocked critics, labeling them as jealous, petty, small-minded, and uninformed. His comments were direct, combative, and unapologetic. Rather than addressing concerns about leadership perception, he made a statement that seemed to challenge anyone questioning the couple's choices. The result was a firestorm of reactions across social media, news outlets, and church discussions. Conversations that might have stayed private erupted publicly. Every comment, post, and thread analyzed the dress, his response, and the broader implications for his ministry. This single night, meant to celebrate charitable giving and community achievement, became a moment of intense public scrutiny. People questioned the balance between personal expression and public responsibility, especially for leaders in spiritual spaces. It highlighted the ongoing tension between modern celebrity culture and traditional expectations of religious figures. What was supposed to be a polished, elegant evening ultimately sparked debates about leadership, morality, and the boundaries of public image. In the aftermath, the gala is remembered less for the millions raised and more for a single dress and the conversation it ignited. Pastor Jamal and Dr. Carrie Bryant now face a divided audience. Some defend their right to express themselves, while others insist that visibility comes with accountability. The incident illustrates how a single image, a single choice, can redefine public perception, turning a night of charity into a moment of controversy that will be analyzed and remembered for years to come.
But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing.
Suddenly, the focus shifted from the dress to Pastor Jamal's reaction. Instead of addressing concerns respectfully, he dismissed critics, ignoring their feelings entirely. He wasn't subtle or thoughtful, treating objections like noise. Yet he repeatedly highlighted the $4 million raised, showing that for him the money mattered far more than the backlash.
Because the other day the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country.
To Pastor Jamal, the gala's financial success outweighed every objection and every doubt about what was appropriate. Complaints about appearances or moral example didn't register. As long as the donations were coming in, every question, every worry, and every sideways glance seemed irrelevant, lost in the shadow of the $4 million raised.
Nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing.
The controversy went beyond the dress. Pastor Jamal's response revealed his priorities and values, showing little respect for critics or fellow leaders. He dismissed longtime supporters as small-minded and ignorant, ignoring their concerns entirely. Shockingly, his congregation cheered, reinforcing the divide between him and the very people who helped build his influence and wealth.
I divorced because of my infidelity, not because of irreconcilable differences, but because I broke that covenant.
Crazy, right? When Pastor Jamal dismissed critics and ignored scripture-based concerns, his congregation cheered like they were at a concert, not a church. It was more than awkward, it was shocking. Accountability disappeared, replaced by applause, as loyalty drowned out judgment. Over the years, Jamal has acted less like a spiritual guide and more like a celebrity brand, using flashy sermons, viral moments, and provocative statements for attention. Many believe he and Dr. Carey knew the dress would create a stir. For longtime observers, the backlash felt inevitable, given past controversies and the contrast between his public teachings and personal actions.
My ego is not that big. I don't dress for people. I dress for myself and for my husband.
Over time, controversies around Jamal Bryant have piled up. Relationships, blurred boundaries, and repeated scandals. Critics argue his sermons focus on giving tithe to financial gain, making faith feel transactional. The dress incident didn't start these debates. It just reignited them. Dr. Carey defended herself, saying she dresses for herself and her husband, not the public.
Well, I don't use my platform to preach against other preachers when there's so much that's going on in the world.
Yes, the concerns people have are real, and no one disputes that. But for critics, the issue went far beyond a single gown. It's about spiritual credibility, about how leaders set an example for their followers. Shifting the conversation to unrelated social topics didn't answer the questions many were asking, and those questions are still hanging in the air. Clearly, the dress wasn't the real problem. It was the spark that ignited a much bigger conversation. People weren't upset about the fabric. They were reacting to the attitude behind it. The arrogance, the dismissiveness, and the feeling that accountability simply doesn't apply to this family struck a nerve. For many observers, it confirmed what they already suspected. Pastor Jamal Bryant behaves more like a celebrity than a spiritual guide, more like a brand than someone responsible for leading a flock. The lingering question remains: will this moment affect his influence, or will applause and donations keep him untouchable? While headlines will move on and the dress will fade from memory, the deeper issues, arrogance, hypocrisy, and self-serving leadership remain. For growing numbers of believers and outsiders, that reality can't be ignored.